Thank you. The gentleman yields back. The gentle lady from Florida, Ms. Wasserman Schultz, is now recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As a mother of three, I've seen firsthand how hard the past 2 years have been on young people. Children's lives were disrupted at a fragile time in their development, and many still struggle with depression, anxiety, and stress. Thankfully, many states, including Florida, devoted state and local recovery funds from the American Rescue Plan to various education initiatives. And those investments helped K-12 students recover lost ground in the pandemic, steered financial aid help to help students attend college, and delivered funds for higher education campuses. In my district, Florida's 23rd, recovery funds hired school nurses, fed the larger school community, and implemented the New Worlds Reading Initiative, a free book delivery program designed to help grade school children achieve their potential through the power of reading. Dr. Leachman, we already know that the COVID-19 academic slide is taking a mounting toll on many students across the country. How are other states and local governments using recovery funds to support children who need to make up lost educational time due to the pandemic?
Thank you. Yes, this is another important reason why the fiscal recovery funds are needed now and over the next 3 or 4 years, because that learning loss that so many of our children have sustained as a result of the pandemic is both a crucial, important, immediate need that we have to help them get back on track, and it's going to take time. It's not just one summer school or some tutoring that's going to recover from what in some cases is a year or more lost of learning time. And of course, that matters not only for those kids and their families, but for our country's future. These kids will be tomorrow's workforce.
In drafting the American Rescue Plan, Congress recognized the adverse effects and learning loss the pandemic might manifest over months or years, and subsequently gave governments until the end of 2026 to spend recovery funds. Mayor Woodards, why is this extended time horizon so important when considering investments to support children?
Thank you for the question. And so there are a couple things. One, we still don't know and won't know for quite some time the effects of COVID-19 and this pandemic on our young people. So a rush to spend that money quickly would be devastating to all of our communities. We need the time to make sure that as we recover from COVID, that we can make those investments where they are needed. It also gives us the time to do a couple of other things. One, to be innovative, to be creative in thinking about how we can solve some of the issues that will face our young people in our communities across America. And the only other thing that I'll add on top of that is that it also gives us the ability and the time to engage with our community, which is so incredibly important. As policymakers, we don't know everything, but being able to make sure that there's community engagement and relying on engaging with our residents who have young people, or actually engaging with our young people as to what their needs are, being able to take that time and get it right is what's going to be so incredibly important for most of our communities. So having that additional time to address all of those issues is really important to cities, towns, and villages across America.
Thank you. The very fact that there will be education concerns and setbacks after the peak of the pandemic is over makes clear that we must ensure states utilize every tool at their disposal to support students. While Florida utilized some of the recovery funds for student success, we were the last state to apply for the bulk of the critical education dollars in the American Rescue Plan, the Elementary and Secondary Education Emergency Relief ESSER funds. And distressingly, Governor DeSantis is still refusing to distribute them. These dollars would address learning loss, provide access to critical mental health resources, and offer more staff to support students' needs. Florida knows that our students and schools desperately need this funding, which is exactly why they listed these items in their plan to the Department of Education months ago. Dr. Leachman, what long-term impact could delays like these have on schools, communities, and most importantly, students?
Well, very serious ones. Already the pandemic has caused very concerning problems in our schools for our children's learning. So many kids have had difficulty during the pandemic receiving schooling and staying on track. And that is vital for us to address as soon as possible. The longer we delay, the worse it's going to be, and the longer it's going to take for those kids to get back to a place where they need to be, where they can where they can succeed in school and
Thank you.
be well in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Chair, Governor DeSantis must make these badly needed dollars available to Florida school districts immediately, or our children, teachers, and local taxpayers will suffer and bear the long-term burden, and that will rest squarely on his shoulders. Thank you. I yield back.
The gentlelady